If you ask me, I feel smartwatches are like our little health companion. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. Today we'll be talking about the Ticwatch Pro 2020 to help you decide if this is the right smartwatch to buy in 2020 or whenever you're watching this video. And a little info about the company. The watch is made by a company called Mobvoi, and from the looks of their website, spending like 5 minutes there, I feel they make mostly wearables and a few other things. The Ticwatch comes in a good looking, almost square box with all of the highlights about the watch on one side and the model info on the other side. Pretty much basic stuff you would expect from any kind of packaging. So let's start with a tour of the design. The design here is very solid. It's not your regular fancy looking smartwatch. This is a military grade watch. It is made out of carbon fiber and can resist harsh conditions. What I feel makes this watch different or popular is that it has two displays. We have an LCD layered on an AMOLED display. This was actually done so you have two modes to choose from. You have essential mode and you have the smart mode. Now the essential mode takes advantage of the LCD display, while the smart mode takes advantage of the AMOLED display. You can choose to use the LCD display as an always on display, or you can choose to turn this on when your watch stays idle for a very long time. This is done to save battery, and we'll talk about this in the course of this video. The Ticwatch Pro 2020 has two buttons on the right side. First is the menu/home key. You can use this to go to your home, or you can use this to access your app when you're on the home screen. A long press of this button will activate Google Assistant. Second is the power button, which you long press to turn off the device or turn it on. A single press while it is on is customizable to open any app of your choice, and by default, it is set to the Ticwatch Health app. The smartwatch has a rim design, kind of gives it this Galaxy Watch feel, but the bezel does not move like the Galaxy Watch. Kind of wish it does though. At the back of the watch, we have 4 pins to connect the charging dock. This is made out of plastic and has a good amount of magnet to keep the watch in place. Also a heart rate sensor, which is a 2-diode heart rate sensor. Then you have a few information about the watch and the speaker holes. I did not see this at first, and it's not really commonplace to place speakers, but it serves its purpose. We have stainless steel, and I almost said take my money because the build quality here is solid, and the straps also are detachable with these 2 little pins. And also the strap is a blend of genuine Italian leather and rubber. I like the mix of the two. You won't be bothered about changing the strap so anytime soon, though you do not want to go diving with this, so I recommend getting another strap, probably a plain rubber strap or something you feel water would not damage easily. So as mentioned before, we have an LCD on AMOLED display which lets you switch between essential mode, which saves your battery by just displaying the time, the date, your heart rate sensor, and your workout steps. Unlike most Wear OS watches, which basically just tells you the time, I think it kind of looks down on the fact that this is a smartwatch by just displaying the time. So I feel what the Ticwatch has going for it, it's what makes it extra. I feel this is a cool feature to have if you want to save battery yet keep track of your health. And if you're going for a long walk or trip or something, you don't have to worry about carrying the charging case all the time. To get out of the essential mode, you tap the power button to turn the smart mode back on. I feel this is like basically turning the watch on because it actually takes a while to do this. So the second display is a 1.39 inch 400 by 400 FSTN AMOLED display. I'm not huge on specs and what the manufacturer says. I'm more like practical. Okay, like how does this perform in real life scenario? Brightness can go up to 1 to 5, which is okay for outdoors. I would recommend you leave it on auto, saves yourself some battery. And for the display, I feel this scores a 7 out of 10. The software on this, as I probably mentioned before, is Wear OS by Google. On the home screen, you swipe right to see the tiles you have. You can have up to 5 tiles. You swipe left for Google Assistant, which you can also activate by a long press of the power button. It's like Google Now for smartwatch. Swipe up for notification, swipe down for control center. And I was curious about the touch and how it works. It basically turns the screen to white as every other smartwatch does, but little white screen to see little things, but don't expect too much. A long press on the screen will give you an option to change the watch face, and you have a lot of good looking watch faces. And my favorite is this white marble. Under the hood is a Snapdragon 2100 Wear chipset and 1 gig of RAM, which helps things run smoothly compared to the 2018 model, which had 500 MB, and you also have NFC for Google Pay. Alright, down to connectivity. It was quite straightforward. All you need to do is download the Wear OS app for iOS or Android, then you can connect. But we have Bluetooth 4.0. which is not the newest Bluetooth, but I feel it works fine, and you can connect this to your speaker or your AirPods or whatever wearable you have that you can connect this to. The watch has Wi-Fi and 4G. It also has GPS, so you can leave your phone at home while running or cycling or while you're in the kitchen. Using this smartwatch was quite a thing because I was used to Apple WatchOS and it was quite easy navigating, and the experience was okay. If you're used to watches with other OS, trust me, getting used to this will be as easy as checking the time. So other features of the smartwatches are accelerometers, gyro, magnetic sensor, ambient light sensor, low latency off-body sensor, IP68 dust and water resistant, and it could stay in the water for up to 30 minutes, but don't go too deep. I don't advise you diving with this either. So battery here is 450 mAh. It says on their website that this smartwatch can go on smart mode for 4 days and 30 days on essential mode. But with my testing, I was able to get about 53 hours on smart mode, and yes, that essential mode can last like forever. One small setback though here is the processor. The Snapdragon 2100, this is a chip from 2016. It is not the fastest, and opening apps is a little bit slower than smartwatches with recent chips. I get why they do this, is to compensate for the build quality. It's like having a Benz with an engine of a Mazda. It's like give some, take some. Most of the time, you might not notice the millisecond slow operation, but overall, it gets the job done. Why would I buy this smartwatch, or would I buy this? Well, it depends on my budget and depends on the kind of job I do. So this is a perfect watch for jobs that require a lot of moving around and you want something compact and gives you this industrial look. So coming down to budget, if I have extra cash, I sure will go for this, but I would have this as my secondary watch, not my main watch, because I feel this is best for moving around, not like those fancy watches that could get their screens cracked when they drop or something. So this is really great for moving around, but when you want to really dress fine, touch up yourself a little bit, I think the other watches could come in play. But one thing for me is that cheap. It is not really noticeable, but if you're coming from a much faster smartwatch, you can tell. And this smartwatch has those features needed in a smartwatch in a very protective and premium design. But is this the best smartwatch at this price? This watch costs $299 and I will leave it for you to decide. Links to buy will be in the description, including links to the gadgets used in this production. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. The best way to stay connected to this channel and to support me is by hitting the notification bell and clicking on all. My name is Chika, I'm Tech Mayor. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.